Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines here. Bank of America highlighting Ripple, baby. You're going to love it. And SWIFT says mBridge is a rival to SWIFT. Well, we got something for you to see. Come on, somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.22 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency. The market is off by 1.2% now, getting some back that lost in the last 24 hours. Nevertheless, still sitting at 30,200 for Bitcoin, 1864 and change for Ethereum. Tether market cap is now 83.5 billion plus, and 46 cents for XRP, off by 1.6 in the 24 hours. And off by 3.2 on the 7-day. Remember, below 48 cents, there is a likelihood that we could see XRP continue to roll over, and it could go as low as 38 cents. Doesn't mean it has to. We will take a look at TA before we get out of here today. Let's start with this right here. Shout out to Gold Telegraph. China added to its gold reserves for 8th consecutive month. Stockpiling. Well, on a retail front, that reminds me of Glint. And this is how I stockpile. You can have your own personal alternative to banking, ladies and gentlemen. If you check out my sponsor, Glint, click the link underneath the video. Get 50% off right now of your vaulting and insurance fees for the next 12 months. And become your own bank. Using gold, baby. Not the banking system, using gold. We're talking about insured gold, ladies and gentlemen. Click the link if you don't believe me and find out what so many others already know. And here's another reason why it's not a bad idea. Michael Arrington's got this right. As you listen to the World Economic Forum agent openly telling you the coming digital cashless society will be regulated and those determined less desirable will be locked out. The only thing creepier than hearing that from this gentleman is to smile while talking about absolute evil is what gets me the most. Shout out to Michael Arrington. He's spot on, and Drew Hernandez here. Take a listen.
And the one final note I will make is that if you think about the benefits of digital money, there are huge potential gains. It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability, units of central bank currency with expiry dates. You could have, as I argue in my book, a potentially better and some people might see it, or a darker world where the government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things that it deems less desirable, like, say, ammunition or drugs or pornography or something of the sort. And that is very powerful in terms of the use of a CBDC.
Well, let's understand this. How about regulating illegal activities instead of trying to regulate the money in my pocket? German bank giant highlights Ripple's use of XRP for efficient global payments. Now, this is an older study, but it's going to set the tone of where we're getting ready to go, and you're going to love every minute of it. Yeah. 5-year-old report from German banking giant Deutsche Bank, and the bankers highlights the use of XRP by Ripple to facilitate efficient cross-border payments. Trust me, it gets better, and it gets way more current and present. This is a reminder right here from Mr. Mann that remittance transfers under the Electronic Fund Transfer Act, Ripple's proprietary virtual currency, definitely looks like XRP is a currency and regulated. Now, if you haven't seen the first video from this morning, I would go watch that video too, because there's some incredible information in there that shows that XRP as a virtual currency is already designed and built. It does not legally impede on any laws that exist today, according to the study that we talked about in that first video. Make sure you check it out. But here you see, as we have reported here, Ripple offer both payments messaging platform and support cross-border money transfers, as well as proprietary virtual currency XRP. This was established through the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is an enforcement agency. And if there was something wrong with Ripple or XRP, they would not be celebrating it here as they have. So make sure you keep that in mind. And this is to use and facilitate cross-border payments for banks and credit unions. That's the other part to get a hold of this. So it's inside the financial system. But wait, there's more. Yeah, we love it. Ripple faces firm competition from SWIFT GPI, Bank of America. But I want to remind everybody that Brad Garlinghouse referred to SWIFT GPI as a race car body on an old Model T Ford. That is not a solution make right there, ladies and gentlemen. That much I can tell you. And I want to remind you of this before we move on to the next piece you're going to want. This is from Ripple Swell last year. Shout out to Nick Burafedo from Link2, who was able to get this.
My notes from the day, it's quite loud in here, so I apologize. First thing is, I met with Brad Garlinghouse face to face, and Brad was so confident. He's got an air of confidence about him that's unbelievable. I met Brad first in 2019 back in Singapore, and he's even more confident today than he was back then. He made it clear that they're ready to settle with the SEC.
And he meant they're ready for a decision. Keep listening.
As long as they can get clarity on XRP. I asked him if American companies were waiting on the sidelines to jump in the game once clarity happens, and he said absolutely. And he specifically said Bank of America. Bank of America is a huge partner of Ripple, and he said Bank of America stands to gain really big when the settlement happens, because they're going to have a huge competitive advantage over their competitors by using ODL in the marketplace. So Brad is very, very bullish.
And we are too. And let's keep it going, ladies and gentlemen, because there's more to see here. I want you to listen to this clip here. Larry Lee from SWIFT was asked about his thoughts on people say that Enbridge is a rival to SWIFT. Then he talked about having to be interoperable and scalable to the US dollar and euro. Take a listen here, and then we got James Wallace from Ripple to follow. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Yvonne. Larry, some people simplistically think that Enbridge is a rival to SWIFT. What have you got to say about that?
That's a sharp question from your side, John.
But I do tell you that it's a simplistic take.
So we noticed, and we've been watching the space, as I said, for a while.
We know this, and we've been watching this space for a while. He acknowledges that Enbridge is a rival to SWIFT. Okay.
There are a lot of different projects going on, and Enbridge is a very successful experiment here. Now, with that said, I mean, SWIFT plays a very important role in the global business community. We've been serving the financial industry for half a century, and many people here probably did not realize that SWIFT is actually a nonprofit organization. We are owned by the banks, and we serve the community, serve the greater good, and our mission is to deliver instant and frictionless end-to-end transaction experience for everyone here for cross-border payments as well as for securities transmissions, right?
However, he says transmissions, transactions. He doesn't say instant settlement, right? Payments, transactions, but he doesn't say instant settlement because they don't have the ability to do that.
So for projects like Enbridge, back to John's point, right? I think it's got a lot of merits, and I think all these panelists, all my panelists here, talked about it. But personally, as I said, we have to think about the real world scenario here, i.e. Scalability, right? So first of all, Enbridge is a joint effort by multiple jurisdictions. So when you talk about jurisdictions, then as I already mentioned, then you talk about disputes and how to address all these various problems in the real world, where you conduct real business. And secondly, and we all know that based on our record, and by the way, I strongly encourage everyone to subscribe to our WeChat account for the RMB tracker. But US dollar is still the dominant currency for international international trade, and international trade drives a lot of these cross-border payment activities, and US dollar has 40% of market share here. So for all these projects, they would, if they have to be scalable, they have to reach out to connect with US dollar and euro, which are the primary currencies used here, right, in our world, in our universe here. So all these issues, they are not necessarily new, and they are food for thoughts. And I definitely believe G20 are aware of that. And by the way, China is part of G20, and which is why they continue to encourage the industry as a whole to think about this and to continue to experiment, continue to innovate, and continue to figure out ways to interoperate. And obviously, the objective is to reduce the cost and improve the efficiency for cross-border transactions.
Yeah, and I think you could do that if you listen to James Wallace, because now he's going to describe to you exactly what mBridge is.
Or digital pound. You obviously need to have some way to interact cross-border. Yeah. So I think the BIS call this a multi-CBDC model.
BIS call this the multi-CBDC model known as mBridge.
One of the ideas is you use a sort of a neutral bridge currency to go.
One of the ideas is that you use a neutral bridge currency. That's exactly what XRP is. That's exactly what XRP Ledger does. That's exactly what the Ripple central bank ledger, private ledger, is for.
Go from one to the other, similar to the model I explained earlier, where with our on-demand liquidity.
Okay, so and there you have it. That's James Wallace from Ripple telling you that mBridge, at least in one pilot, is in fact the XRP ledger for central banks, the private ledger, and that this guy, Larry Lee from SWIFT, is acknowledging that mBridge is a very, very successful project that's going across multiple jurisdictions. Oh, I'm loving where this is going. Then let's get back into the Bank of America praises Ripple's cross-border payments here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. You're going to want it. Banking sector is renowned for being conservative when implementing new technologies, but increasingly more banks are now using blockchain-based payment technology Ripple for international trade. APAC is breathtaking. The real-time payment facilitation capabilities of technology are acknowledged by Bank of America. According to the report, APIs are the primary force behind the adoption of real-time payments and have completely changed both customer connectivity and transaction processing. The survey also noted that considering the size of the APAC region, which includes subcontinent North Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, and the diversity of payments environment within its is hardly surprising. I want to remind people that in Australia, we also know that Dilip Rao, formerly of Ripple, is now working to help Australia with the launch of their CBDC pilot program. Banks can save money by utilizing Ripple's technology, which is one of the reasons cross-border payments through Ripple have become so well known. By eliminating middlemen and utilizing blockchain technology, Ripple lowers transaction costs associated with international payments. That's Bank of America, ladies and gentlemen. That's the same Bank of America that Nick Burafeto talked to Brad Garlinghouse about, and that's the same Bank of America that is excited to be able to use this technology. And I would imagine right after we get a legal decision that provides some clarity for the financial system to move forward, and banks in it like Bank of America, and I tell you, I couldn't be more excited about where it's going. Then we see right here, XRP the last 100 days, September to October. Buckle up, everybody, XRP community. The next 100 days will be make it or break it phase for our precious XRP. As we enter Q3 of 2023, I want to share some key levels of support and resistance to keep an eye on. Obviously, support is at 45 cents, 42 cents, and 42 cents. 42.50. And then you can see here major support at 38.50. And resistance at 48 cents, 50 cents, 54 cents, and 58 cents. Judge Torres, however, we must acknowledge the potential impact of the ongoing legal proceedings. Judge Torres' decision could have significant implications for XRP's price. The outcome of this case might slingshot the price in either direction, depending on the verdict and subsequent actions. Stay level-headed. While it's important to stay informed and monitor the legal development closely, we must remember that the market's reaction can be unpredictable. Emotions can run high, leading to short-term volatility. It is crucial to maintain a long-term perspective and not get swayed by short-term fluctuations. Personal opinion? Personally, Eggrad Crypto believes he remains steadfast in his accumulation strategy. Continuing with his monthly and weekly contributions through dollar cost averaging, I believe in the potential of XRP and its utility in the evolving digital economy. There you have that. And I tell you, so do I. And the more I am seeing in the fundamental news, the more it is speaking to me that that window that he's talking about over the next 100 days may just become an incredible opportunity for all of us. We don't know, and there's no way to know. But what we can do is keep ourselves informed and as current as possible. The money we have put into this space and investing and believing in the projects that we've researched and invested in has been monumental. And I tell you, it is crucial for us to watch these next 100 days to see what unfolds here. We should get a decision from Judge Torres before then. Then the launch of FedNow. Then the launch of banks possibly coming off the sidelines. Should we see all of those things in that sequential order? I don't know, but I tell you this much. I'm excited to find out because I'm a perma-bull and I'm in this space and I'm here to stay. And I tell you, this is going to be exciting to watch. And if we do see something towards the end of the year, Q3 or later, jump off for XRP, my oh my, how sweet would it be if it was just like the same repeat of 2017, 2018. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. This is getting fun. I'll catch all of you on the next one.